Hey guys, JP here, just driving through the neighborhoods, and I got an interesting email recently that I think is especially interesting, not just because of the question that was asked, but the question under the question. Let me tell you what I mean. So almost every investor actively buying and selling properties these days is looking for the best, most effective, kind of the path of least resistance to get motivated sellers calling them about their distressed properties or their distressed situations, right? So with everything from letters to postcards to bandit signs to billboards, the aim is to get the right people's attention and to get them to call. But when they call, should you answer the phone live, you or someone on your team, or should it go to a well-crafted voicemail to pre-screen them first? Interesting question. And I've actually changed over the years in how I've handled that for a specific reason. Let's talk about that.
Hey, what's up, awesome people? Welcome back. So the question, should you answer the phone live in person when motivated sellers call, or should you instead use a strategic, well-crafted voicemail to screen them first? Well, as you might guess, there's different schools of thought on this one, and really, neither of them are wrong. They're just different from each other. Investors across the board nationwide are successful using one model or the other. On the one hand, live answering the phone when sellers call always outperforms in conversation quantity, meaning more conversations with more people. But also, unfortunately, more isn't always better, right? You're also wasting a lot of time with curious tire kickers who got no intent of ever letting go of their property at a price that's going to make sense to you. But on the other hand, advertising a 24-hour voice message with a carefully crafted message designed to, number one, pre-screen and filter out the tire kickers, and number two, set the stage for a productive conversation with the right people. Well, that's another story. In my experience, we've found in our business that offering the 24-hour recorded voice message is more favorable. Number one, it gets us more calls from people who might be motivated but really aren't ready to kind of feel that pressure of a live conversation or make the commitment of talking to somebody in person unless they can figure out if you're not really a scam. And number two, it gives us a perfect platform to set the stage as a real friendly human being. It lets us better define and refine really who is and isn't a good fit for selling their property to us in a friendly, non-threatening way. So basically, using a 24-hour voice message like this, you may end up actually speaking with fewer people versus live answering, but I think you'll probably experience, like we do, a higher quality of conversation more often than not. Yes, it draws out the curiosity seekers and then it filters them out before you waste your time on the phone with them. So for us, it moves the ball forward with a much higher ratio of the right people, even if we're actually speaking with fewer people by comparison. But how do you do that effectively? Well, good news. In my 18 years in the game now, I think I've got it down pretty solid. A finely tuned voicemail script you're looking at right here for seller calls that's part art and part social science, I think. It sets the stage for people and filters out tire kickers, sets the ball beautifully for us to then pass it over for a proper conversation. So I want to walk you through my script, and I want to walk you through the 24-hour script for absentee owners in this video. Now, I should say we use basically the same script for other types of leads as well. Probates, Craigslist leads, just a little tweaking to make it more contextually relevant to the type of lead, but not a massive overhaul or anything like that. But first, I want to let you listen to my actual voicemail and my actual voice when people call, when sellers call. This is literally what they hear. I want you to hear how it doesn't sound like I'm reading a script. You know, it just sounds natural. There's kind of an art to reading a script and it sounding like you're not reading a script. So let me just play it for you so you can hear how it sounds. And then I want to walk you through the script a little bit just so you understand some of the subtle nuances that we've baked into this as a starting point for crafting your own version of this script. So let's listen in. Hi, thanks for calling. I'm JP and we are the House Guys.
if you've already spoken with us about your house and you just need to leave us a message, you can press pound right now and leave us your message right after the tone. If you're calling for the first time, let me just take a quick moment and give you the lowdown. Me and my wife and my partner James, we are local Memphians, and we love improving and investing in our hometown. We've been investing in the Memphis area actually for 15 years now, so if you found yourself with a bit of a house problem and you just need out, we can probably help. The fact is we specialize in hard to sell homes. So whether it's a fixer-upper or bad tenants or a bad house or a bad situation, back taxes, divorce, inherited property, fire damage, even mold actually, it doesn't matter what it is, chances are we've probably dealt with it and we can help. So if you'd like to sell your house fast, as is, without fixing it up, then we'd be happy to discuss it with you. Just tell us a little about your house and your situation, and you'll get a fair cash offer from us in a timely fashion, and then a quick, easy sale. And I mean instant relief, completely avoiding all the hassles that typically come with selling through an agent or on your own. Just to give you an idea, here's how I make it easy and convenient whenever you sell your house to me. First, I'd like to pay for all of your closing costs when you sell your property to me. And so this will literally save you thousands of dollars, because normally when you sell your home, you as the seller are responsible for certain closing costs in the transaction. And these closing costs would be in addition to any realtor fees or commissions that you would normally pay. But when you sell your house to me, there's no realtor involved, no commissions to pay, and as I've already mentioned, I pay for all of your closing costs. So you'll actually end up making more money on the sale of your property. When you sell to me, I'll explain everything in clear, easy to understand terms. I will handle all the paperwork for you, and of course, you'll have everything in advance so you can have enough time to review it, make sure you feel comfortable with it. The whole transaction's handled by a licensed attorney and a local title company. That way you know everything is being done above board. That's just how we do business. Now, most of the properties that I purchase are in need of repairs or updating of some sort typically. So as you might imagine, because of the often substantial expenses that can be involved in doing that type of work, I'm probably not going to be in a position to pay you full market value for your property. However, I can pay you a fair price based on the condition and the situation at hand. So bottom line, we'll come up with a fair value based on the condition of the property, based on your situation and your sense of urgency. And then if my fair offer is acceptable to you, then you'll get cash in 2 to 4 weeks or even less. And you'll completely avoid having to wait the typical months and months that it can normally take to sell a property in this market when it needs work. Please know nobody's going to try and sell you anything. Rest assured, I'm not interested in convincing you of doing anything. I'm just a local guy. We are lifelong Memphians who love investing in our town, and I'm just looking to find a few properties. If this isn't right for you, that's okay. I don't want to push you into doing anything. In the end, you can decide if working with me is right for you and your situation. So here's what you have to do next. Take a moment, leave a message with your name, your phone number twice, and the address of the property that you're thinking of selling, as well as any details about its condition and the number of bedrooms and bathrooms, obviously, and your asking price, etc. Once we have all the information about your property, then either I or my partner James will call you back, we'll discuss it with you, and then you can decide what's best for you. In most cases, we're able to give you a firm offer within about 48 hours or so. So at the end of this recording, you'll hear a tone. Please go ahead and leave all your information and your situation after the tone. Again, thanks for taking the time to listen to this message. And remember to speak slowly and clearly. Please spell your name and share as many details about the property that you'd like to sell and your situation as you can, okay? I look forward to speaking soon. Thanks a lot. Please leave your detailed message after the tone.
All right. So there you go. Let me walk you through some of the nuances that I think make this a strong script. And some of these things have been tweaked over the years since I first wrote it. You may have noticed some of the purple. When I pass this script along to you as a starting point for your own version of it, it will not have the purple, but I just made that before I started making this video, so I remembered that these are some of the things that I want to point out, all right? So what you may have already noticed when you listen to that recording as compared to the script is there's a couple of minor tweaks that I made on the fly as I was recording the script, because when I encountered it, it didn't sound quite as natural as it would normally sound in me speaking just off the top of my head. So I added a you, a your, just a pause, or maybe a little chuckle in here or there, just to make it sound organic. So right off the top, if we've already spoken about your house and you just need to leave a message, press pound now and leave a message right after the tone. So that obviously has a practical use, because if sellers call back because that's the only number that they have, maybe the second or third time, I don't want to have to make them endure the entire message before they leave us a message. And that is actually how Vumber works. By the way, pro tip, I use Vumber.com for this service. And as you can see from the pricing, it's very reasonable. $10 a month gets you 2 local phone numbers in your area. And you can use up to 500 minutes on those 2 numbers, 3 cents per each additional minute. And I think if you just want to add, like let's say you want 3 numbers instead of 4, because that's the next pricing point is 4 numbers instead of 2. You can add a number at any of these levels for just $4 a month. So if regardless of which level of Vumber you have, and you just want an extra number over and above what your account allows, $4 gets you a free number, or gets you a $4 number. All right, back to the script. So that's the way Vumber works. You can press pound and it skips the rest of the message and goes right to the beep. Now, moving into the second paragraph, me and my wife and my partner James are local Memphians. There's a reason that I refer to my wife. No, she's not involved in our house buying business, actively at least. I want people to associate me as a family man and us as real humans and locals to the area. It's increasingly popular for out-of-town investors to put advertisements in various areas. We even do it ourselves in different areas. If we've learned anything from our friend Justin Wilmot, the 10-Hour Wholesaler, you don't have to be local to your area to wholesale houses. But in this specific situation with this script, I am local to Memphis, and this was a script for advertising in our local area. So I want to emphasize the localness and the family connection, just so I can start the possibility of them feeling warm and fuzzy and like I'm a real human, not just a business. I also gloss over quickly our experience of many years that may or may not apply to you, but it's certainly worth a spotlight and passing if it is the case. In conversations like this, I like to frame us as a solution to house problems. That's a common word that I use, and it includes really anything that it involves a junky house, just a house that they inherited. No matter the condition, a house problem could mean the house itself or the situation. So I let the seller know we specialize in hard to sell homes, and I go through a laundry list of things that might include. And yes, we can help. I want them to begin connecting me as somebody that helps people in their mind. Moving on, I asked them to tell us not just about their house in their message, but their situation. I invite them to at least open the door in describing whether or not this is an inherited property or a old rental property or what have you. Obviously, they can choose whether they want to include that at all or how much they want to say about it, but at least asking for it makes sense to me. I offer them a fair cash offer in a timely fashion, and then that's a major benefit, a quick, easy sale. You know, when dealing with motivated sellers in tough situations, that's really what they're looking for. You may deal with some people sometimes who are just focused exclusively on the price, but I find more often than not, sellers just want a quick, easy solution to the problem that they're in, which means a quick, easy sale. And which is why I say you can avoid all the hassles typically that come along with selling your house through an agent or on your own. Now here's where the embedded commands begin. I don't know if you've ever heard of neuro-linguistic programming, NLP. I'm no ninja at it, but I've learned a little bit about it through the years. And if you can embed commands that aren't direct commands, not explicit, I'm commanding you to do this, but a subtle statement of a thing that embeds as a command to your subconscious mind, it can have an influencing effect on the other person. So some of the embedded commands that are in here, I made them purple, but are also in all caps, just to make sure I remember to emphasize it a little bit as I'm talking. So just to give you an idea, Mr. Seller, here's how I make it easy and convenient when you sell your house to me. First, I'd like to pay all your closing costs when you sell your property to me. This will save you thousands of dollars because normally when you sell your home, I'm just trying to speak to their subconscious mind. Sell your property, sell your home, sell your house to me, sell your house to me. It's not overt to them, but I'm being intentional about not just saying that, but subtly emphasizing those embedded commands. Again, sell to me. Feel comfortable. I want their subconscious to hear me say. Speaking of which, I found a lot of sellers who reach out to us are just wondering when we're going to try and pull the wool over their eyes or whether we're up to something scammy. So I like to just drop in indications that we understand that they're a little nervous about this, and the whole transaction is going to be handled by a licensed attorney and a local title company. No kitchen table closings. So everything is being done above board. Now, towards the end, I want to be sure and set the expectation that I'm probably not going to be in a position to pay you full market value for your property, and I explain why. However, I can pay a fair price based on the condition and the situation you have at hand. So, bottom line, I come up with a fair value. If my fair offer is acceptable to you, again, speaking to their subconscious mind, I'm only a fair guy, and all I'm going to do is treat them fairly. You'll, subconscious mind, get cash in 2 to 4 weeks or less. And here, please know, again, I'm just speaking to their nervousness. Nobody's going to try and sell you anything. Rest assured, I'm not interested in convincing you of doing anything. I'm just a local guy, friendly guy, and I'm looking to find a few properties. Wrap up with a call to action, an explicit call to action. Again, speaking to their subconscious mind. So here's what you have to do next. Take a moment, leave me a message with your name, phone number twice, including your area code, the address of the property you're thinking of selling, your asking price. A lot of people don't like to include that because they don't want the seller fixating on a price. I like to know what's on their mind if they even have a starting point. You know, I notice I don't say what you're asked, what you need to get for the property, because I'm probably not going to be able to offer them their asking price. But I'd like to know what, if anything, they have in mind. Once upon a time, I was calling sellers back. I handed it off to my partner, James, in 2015, so I set the stage for that interaction so they don't expect to hear from my voice as the first callback by saying either I or my partner, James, will call you back to discuss it with you. And then again, warm and fuzzy, you can decide what's best for you. Please share as many details about the property you would like to sell in your situation as you can. All right, so that's it. I'm done walking through the nuances of this script. I hopefully highlighted some of them that I think were tricky to discover and are important and subtle, but help accomplish a connection and a friendly vibe and at least a baseline. I'm just an average local guy, not some big fancy business, and a more likable, trustable posture. All right, guys, so there you go. That's my voicemail message that I've crafted carefully over the last 18 years in the game. You need to use this as a starting point only for creating your own version of this. And then I'd really like to hear from you what you think about this and how it works for you. Tell me with a comment below. Just talk to me. Tell me how this strikes you. Is there anything about the script that you like or don't like especially? I'm open-minded. Talk to me. Thanks, guys. Keep it awesome. Happy investing. JP out.